The envelope was thick off-white, the kind reserved for weddings. But it wasn't an invitation. It was a death notice for our marriage. She'd left it casually on the kitchen counter, partially hidden beneath a coffee mug, like she hoped I might miss it. I didn't. The divorce papers were fresh, smooth, untouched by hesitation. She didn't even blink when I picked them up. No argument, no warning, just silence. And that coward's paper trail. I didn't ask why. I didn't need to. I'd already seen him. That man with his cheap confidence, vacant stare, and hands too soft for real work. The kind of guy who thrives on charm and lives off others. The kind of man I used to shield her from. Her friend. That's what she once called him when I dared to ask. Just once. She laughed it off, accused me of paranoia. Classic gaslighting. I played along after that. Let her believe I believed. But when I saw that message, he's working late again. Come over. We're nothing. I stopped being her husband and started becoming her shadow. I wasn't always like that. I used to be gentle, romantic, the kind of man who made her coffee at 5 a.m. before her teaching job. I built her a greenhouse in the backyard because she once said tulips made her feel like spring bloomed inside her. We built everything together. 2 cars, a house, a marketing firm from scratch. She handled the clients. I designed the brands. Our second year, we cleared 6 figures. But somewhere between comfort and climbing higher, I stopped being thrilling. And him. He was failure wrapped in adventure. A bartender with a guitar and no direction. The kind of man she used to mock. Until one night, she rolled in at 3 a.m., said she lost track of time. No apology, just a shrug. That's when I started counting the minutes. Mapping her lies like breadcrumb trails. Noticing shifts, changes. The night I found them together, I didn't storm in. I stood across the street and watched. Her silhouette moving behind his blinds, undressing. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I studied, memorized. Then I went home and opened a blank document, titled it Resignation Letter. I stopped asking where she was going, started reviewing our accounts, quietly removed my name from the business licenses, shifted client relationships into a personal LLC, transferred our biggest account, Peterson and Wolf, under a separate contract. She didn't notice. She was too busy working late. I installed a keylogger on her laptop, monitored her messages, watched her feed him our financials, our plans, my routines. He wanted in on our next product launch. She promised him I'd fold, and he'd slide in as my replacement. Cute. What she didn't know was that the walls were already moving. 3 months later, I told her I had a business trip to New York. She barely looked up from her screen. Safe travels, she muttered. I smiled, but I wasn't going to New York. I booked a suite downtown, bought her favorite wine, reserved a table at the same restaurant where I once proposed, told her I had a surprise anniversary dinner planned. She said yes, of course. Guilt loves a good excuse to dress up. She arrived in red, heels on, hair curled the way she used to when she still loved me. I let her sit, let her order, let her ramble about trivial things. I nodded, smiled, reached for her hand. Then I slid the envelope across the table. She opened it, confused. It wasn't a divorce filing. It was my resignation, not from marriage, but the company. Full transfer of ownership. To me, every contract type, dated, signed by clients, approved by the board. Her name stripped clean from every document. What is this? She whispered. A farewell, I said. She laughed, nervous, sharp. You can't do this. I leaned closer. You already did. Then I laid down the final card, printed screenshots, her chats with him, his takeover plan, her calling me a cash cow with a boring face. Her hand shook. She reached for the wine. I stood, tossed the house keys onto the table. Keep it, I said. It's in his name now. I hope you like his credit score. Tears welled in her eyes. Wait. Too late. I didn't turn around. I walked out like a man who'd finally sold his past for peace. He messaged me the next day, some half-baked thread about lawyers. I sent him a copy of the NDA he signed when we launched the business. 5 years of confidentiality clauses. Enough to drown him in legal fees. He never wrote back. Now I live by the ocean. A smaller house. Fewer things. More silence. Sometimes I think about the tulips. The ones she forgot to water. They withered while she was working late. That was her first betrayal. Quiet. Subtle. But it told me everything. Love remembers what it plants. She forgot. I didn't.